So a lot has happened these last couple months, right? Where do we start?
Just the past year, I guess.
Okay.
Start with UGC.
So let's start with UGC. We started doing UGC, user-generated content, for brands, which is basically making the ads for these companies to run on socials and put ad spend behind. We started full-time with that in like August 2022.
It was September 2000.
Because our last fitness business fell through and we were like, fuck, what are we gonna do? We're good at creating content, let's make ads.
So I want to chime in a little bit because
Go ahead.
We were doing an online fitness business, so somebody proposed to us. The marketing and like the message that we were trying to push and how we were trying to help people, it just didn't align, and the people didn't do what they actually promised us they were gonna do. So we had to create the ads ourselves, like long story short. So we're like, damn, like we're good at creating ads. And Kate had been watching this girl on TikTok that talks about UGC, which is just being a content creator for different brands. They send you a product, they give you kind of like a script or a brief, you follow it, you send them the content and they do whatever they want with it.
And you don't have to post it.
But then we started getting like smarter about the whole business aspect of things. We started looking at contracts, we started looking at usage rights, and we just started getting better at this whole shit.
And now whenever they hire us, you get 2 models, full creative direction, full scripting. We obviously produce the entire video and then edit everything after the fact. So
yeah.
It's a whole production.
At this point, we're running a creative agency. We provide all the services that a creative agency would provide. So now our business is doing really well. It was taking off. But right before we decided that we wanted to go out to Colombia, we were also doing like personal training and fitness events. And those fitness events were doing
really
they
good.
they were giving us a lot of money, obviously, because we were doing them for like large corporations.
We worked with like KPMG, we worked at Delta, we worked with T-Mobile. It was a good time.
It was a good time.
So we were like, we're balling, bro. Let's go out to Colombia before we get married. I need to learn Spanish. We'll spend some time out there and then we'll live there up until like the wedding and then we'll figure it out after.
So we have to look for somebody to take over our rent.
I found this person on Facebook Market.
Kate kills it, by the way. Super resourceful.
Bro, I can just get it done. From there, we're like, okay, well, we want to bring our dog. Getting our dog to Colombia was also a whole thing, like papers and getting him certified as a service animal, and then even like setting him up for the flight. Getting him there was just like...
Wait, and then just like putting our entire life into storage. So we had 2 cars. So she got rid of her car, sold it. Boom. Then I got rid of my car. We got rid of the apartment. Then we got to figure out putting everything in storage. And then logistics of actually moving to Colombia, having a place there. So we were looking on Facebook groups, also a place that she found. Yeah, so we kind of got everything done right on time. Like we were freaking out and we found somebody, we sold the car.
In summary, we sent it.
We sent it out
We
to
sent
Colombia.
it to Colombia. And we had the projects.
Go.
So we get to Colombia and we had like all these projects lined up because the projects kept coming in, right? And then we get there and we're like, okay, send it to this address. And it was a Colombian address. And these companies were like, they would either ghost us or be like, sorry, like we can't do this deal, you're in Colombia. And we're like, we didn't think about the fact that no one would want to send product to Colombia.
We were like, this is gonna work. There was no doubt in our minds that there was anything that we were doing that was wrong because we're just creating content. But 80% of our business is like product based. They're all just like, see ya, this isn't happening.
So like we worked with like a lot of like apps.
Fiverr hired us.
Yeah,
like, for
Fiverr hired
us
for 6 projects. That was cool.
And then we started telling people that we were still in Miami. My parents would go to this office called Servientrega, which sent it directly to Colombia, but that would take like 5 to 6 days. And we usually give a 10-day period for a full project to be delivered. So now we have like 3-4 days to get these projects over to them, which is fine. Like as soon as we got the product, boom,
but we were also planning the wedding at the same time.
And we were planning the wedding.
Because of less physical products coming in, we started dipping all this time into our socials. We were posting every single day. I was like, wake up, eat some breakfast, get our workout in, post. And like, we just did that the whole 3 months we were in Colombia, and our socials started popping off a little bit.
And it was really funny though, because we were there for 4 months and our content started doing really well as soon as we got there. And our following just started growing and growing and growing. And then the last week that we were there, we had our wedding. And we put up a video that got like 90 million views.
Bro.
Which I think is the video that kind of like
popped things off a little bit.
But we were there for 4 months.
We also visited LA in the middle of that. I was able to do a deal with a dress company and I like customized my entire wedding dress for free. Martin also did a deal for his tux.
Yeah, with a good friend of mine. He owns European Custom Tailors. His name is Roop. Roop, shout out. You absolutely crushed that tux.
It looks so good.
It was amazing. It was like
perfectly
like an olive green with like black and like flowers all around it.
But it looked so
was
good.
So nice. Like,
It was sun hard, bro.
we're super grateful for the companies that we were able to work with because it made obviously the wedding much more possible.
Yeah. As far as like planning the wedding goes, that was not the best experience in my opinion.
We actually never thought that we were gonna have like a big wedding, and then talking to different people, we kind of like found a wedding planner that told us that it was feasible to have a wedding under a certain amount. So we're like, okay, fine, we can do that. Like we can figure that out. We ended up spending double from what we originally got quoted, basically.
The reason that it wasn't nice working with them is they just did not want to like rework the budget at all.
Yeah, like we initially put a certain amount down, and from that amount, we were supposed to be able to do certain things. Instead of saying maybe we can take this out and we can move things around, they would just keep adding on, and it got to the point where we were just like, yo, what are we getting charged for? Like, what are we paying for at this point? But towards the end of the whole planning, we were talking to friends and they were just like, yo, honestly, at this point, this is the only time that you're gonna have this experience. You'll only regret not doing certain things. You're never gonna regret paying a little bit more. So do what you gotta do, have the best wedding of your life, and just worry about it later. And it came out beautiful. Like,
with that being said, it came out beautiful.
It was amazing.
Just like it wasn't a pleasant experience working with Winco Ventos in Medellin, Colombia.
But everything turned out perfectly. And even the things that didn't come out fine, like in retrospect, they weren't a big deal. We had 80 guests come all the way from wherever they're from to Colombia and get hotels and just travel specifically to see our wedding. It was like a huge melting pot of different people.
Yeah.
And everybody connected super well. Everybody had a great time.
I feel like that group wouldn't have made sense anywhere else, but like there it was like perfect.
It's so funny because everyone's out together and they're like, yo, we should do trips together moving forward. Like, we should do one every single year. So I think that was amazing. Even if that doesn't actually come to fruition, like the fact that all these people that we put together, that we kind of co-signed for, vibe together was spectacular. I think that was my favorite part.
As far as the wedding goes, it was 3 days. We had a Friday night dinner out at La Provenza. We did like a little mixer basically. People had drinks and we had like appetizers and stuff. Nothing over the top. And then Saturday, Martin and I of course got up super early. We went to this mansion house that we rented out. Got ready there with our families. I don't have like bridesmaids. He didn't have groomsmen. We just had our parents walk us down and then our family stand up there with us. But it was cool. The wedding started at 4. All of our friends were there. Flowers are beautiful. The songs are beautiful. We created our own little ceremony in the middle, and then our best friend Richie ended up officiating for us.
Dude, it was unreal.
It was perfect.
Unreal.
Butterfly release.
We had a violinist at the ceremony, and then we had a saxophonist at the cocktail hour.
She was sexy.
It was lit. It was amazing. Honestly, I didn't see the saxophonist at any point, and I
There's
don't
so
remember
much-
the violinist.
I don't remember the appetizers or the snacks or
I didn't
anything.
get any desserts. Anyway, the party was a movie. Like nonstop. Like everybody from the wedding was on the dance floor the entire time.
Our DJ Manuela Vibes crushed that shit. It was a mix of like reggaeton and R&B, and like it was so good. It was everything we wanted it to be. We partied till midnight because in Colombia the weddings are unreasonably 8 hours. Like we just danced and cried honestly the entire time.
Yeah.
And then after the wedding we had buses for everybody and we took them back to the mansion and we threw like a little mixer at night.
Do you know what's really funny is like right before the party started, I stood up there and I was just like hyping everybody up, and I was like, we better see everybody at the after party because it's gonna be crazy. And I was the first one to just kind of like tap out.
The liquor was flowing, although all we had was tequila, beer, and wine.
Yeah.
But people were good off that.
There was like 3 beers left, and like that's it. I think that was like the only thing that was left. Like it was like perfect.
It was a perfect amount.
We didn't overdo it, didn't underdo it. It was just like.
By 4 a.m. everyone was gone, and then Martin and I went to bed, and then we woke up and we had a chef come and make basically like a Colombian breakfast for everybody. So then everyone that came the night before came in the morning too if they hadn't left yet.
And we just chilled by the pool until everybody had to go home, and it was just fucking fantastic.
Our
it was
families
a fairy
were
tale.
there. Yeah, no, it was beautiful. It was honestly like the best fucking weekend of my life. I didn't have like a single video or picture on my phone because like we just were not on our phones. Like we were just like connecting with everyone that was there.
Yeah, no, talk about being present. So we got married, right? And then we're like, hey, for business, the best move, especially
we gotta go back to the US, bro.
We gotta go back to the US because clearly ain't nobody sending out products anywhere else. Then we're like, we should go to the States. And what was the best place to go to if you're doing creative work?